Today's tip is about the do's and don'ts when visiting someone with dementia. Hi, it's me, Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregivers with love, laughter, and lessons learned. Well, the holidays are here, and last week we talked about how to set up the house and the surroundings for your loved one with dementia during the holidays, but now we're going to talk about the visitors. Because many times people have not seen your loved one and maybe since last Christmas. Or maybe they've just spoken to them on the phone. And there are going to be some probably decline that they may not realize. So I think if you can show them this video before they come to visit, it will really help them out a lot. So the first thing I want to say is make sure that you keep your tone and your body language friendly. You don't want to come in the house like this. You can make your loved one feel very fearful. Don't speak too loudly. Most of the time your loved one is home in a quiet environment, unless they don't have their hearing aid in and the TV's on really loud. But most of the time they're home in a quiet environment, and if all of a sudden a lot of loudness comes in, it can make them feel very agitated and sometimes scared. Make eye contact and stay at their level. No one likes to be talked to with someone standing over them. I had one caregiver tell me, "Oh, I finally realized when I sat down and I made eye contact with my mom when I spoke to her, she understood me a whole lot better." Introduce yourself to them, especially if you haven't seen them in a long time. So when my uncle had dementia and I went to see him, I said, "Hi, Uncle Jimmy, it's me, Linda, your favorite niece." So I baited him. I told him who I was and what kind of relationship we had. Now, I don't know if he got it all the way, but he felt a whole lot more comfortable. Also remember that sometimes they may not recognize you, and they may not remember your name. So you can put a photo over here of yourself when you were younger. Many times they'll make that connection, but sometimes they won't. And if they don't, it's not the end of the world. They still know who you are. They cannot remember your name. They know the feeling. They know the love. They just cannot remember your name. Speak slowly and in short sentences, which is really difficult for me at times, the speaking slowly part. But please remember to do that, because many times they don't even catch the third word when you're speaking slowly. Give them extra time to speak. Don't expect them to answer you right away. It may take them a few seconds to get through what they want to say. Ask open-ended questions, not questions that we're going to do, is it right or is it wrong? Be okay sometimes with just sitting together in quiet. You don't have to always be talking. Some of my fondest times would be sitting next to my grandmother and just her holding my hand, and us just sitting there together and listening to some music. It was really fabulous. It's really a good time, not just for her, but for me too. Validate their feelings. If they say they're fearful, or they're angry, or they're sad, let them know that you validate that. Don't tell them don't be sad, don't be angry. Say, I understand that that's how you are, but I'm here today to try to give you some comfort. Enter their reality, because sometimes they're going to talk about stuff that doesn't make any sense at all. Go with the flow. Just go with the flow. Don't be correcting them. It doesn't really matter. They probably don't even have the opportunity to leave the house. What do you care what they're saying, if it's right or wrong? It really doesn't matter. We just want them to be comfortable and happy. Share and discuss memories. But don't say, "Do you remember when?" Just take out some photo albums. Take out some kind of memorabilia. I just spoke to a caregiver the other day, and she said she had a delightful conversation with her dad for like 3 hours. She took out his Army medals and all his memorabilia that he had from when he was in the military. She said, and I thought my dad couldn't remember much, and I was surprised to know that he could bring back a lot just by seeing that memorabilia. She said, and we had a great conversation, and I learned some things about my dad I didn't even know. Sometimes you might want to come prepared with an activity. A puzzle to do, a book to read, some maybe pot holders or something like that. Because lots of times if they have something to do, it makes them feel more comfortable with having a conversation or not having a conversation. It just makes them feel more comfortable being there. Give them a hug. Hold their hand. Touch their arm. Everyone likes to be touched. Everyone likes to be touched. And like I said before, please don't say, "Do you remember?" because that can cause them so much embarrassment because they do not remember, and then they feel like they've done something wrong. Don't argue with anything, just let it go. Don't point out mistakes. Assume that they don't remember anything. Many people have moments of clarity, but it'll just be for a little while. Recently we had a lot of storms in Florida, hurricanes, and one of my caregivers said she didn't really want her mom to be watching any of it on the television because she felt it would make her distressed. Heck, it was making me distressed watching it. She said one afternoon her mom fell asleep in the chair and she jumped into the shower. She said, and when I came back, my mom had the news on and she was standing up, and she said, my mom used to be a Red Cross worker. Her mom had that moment of clarity, and she's like, get the flashlights, get the blankets, we need to do this, we need to prepare for the storm. She said, I was so shocked when I came out of the shower and saw my mom was back. She was only back for a day, but she had those moments of clarity because that was something that was so familiar to her and so important to her. So when they do have a moment of clarity, just go with it. Please do not talk down to them. Please do not be disrespectful. Their brain is dying, many of them, and they don't need you to make them feel embarrassed or childlike. Don't talk to them like a child. And the other thing is, talk to them. Don't talk over them. Don't talk around them. The most important thing we want to keep for our loved ones is dignity. I think that's the most important thing you would want for yourself if you were in their position. Have a happy holiday, and tune in next week for another tip sponsored by Arden Courts, where all they do is memory care, and have a delicious day.